Hello ladies, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I wanted to come on and do a video regarding self-awareness and the criticisms on the divestment movement. Have you been following me and listening to my content? I've made a few videos on divesting. I've made videos on interracial dating. I have divested, but I'm not a divestor. So I want to make that clear. I'm more of pro-self. I'm more doing what's best for me. And I support any kind of movement that uplifts Black women. Really all women. I don't believe you need to be a Black woman to be a divestor. You could be a biracial woman. You could be a woman from a different culture. And yeah, so I wanted to come on and talk about how there's just been a uptick of women that are red pill affiliated here on YouTube, or they have Black woman empowerment YouTube pages, but they're more so on accountability for Black women, but they really mimic talking points from the Manosphere from a woman's perspective. I want to make clear that this is not that type of channel. We do not speak on, or I do not speak on Kevin Samuel's talking points or talking points from the Manosphere. However, I speak on talking points that make sense, that are going to help women, Black women in particular, become their best selves and achieve whatever it is they want. However, my channel is a channel that promotes traditionalism, femininity over feminism, and self-development, self-improvement, and womanhood evolution for women, particularly Black women, because I am a Black woman. So I wanted to talk about this because, yeah, there's been an uptick of Black female content creators who are affiliated with the Manosphere and the red pill community here on YouTube, and they've been having critiques for the divestment movement. This is the problem that I have with that, is that these women say that it's not their place to hold men accountable on their channel. It's their place to hold women accountable on their channel. But one thing that I think is not fair is to criticize and demonize a movement meant to uplift women and to give them encouragement to find alternative options for happiness in their life, and consider that movement to be made of women who are really just bitter, who can't get what they want and are crying about it, who are traumatized and simply undesirable. That's not true. And it's not fair either. The lack of self-awareness on the men in this community is not really surprising, but it somehow is still very astonishing. We cannot say that thousands of women who wake up and decide to be a part of the divesting community is crazy or bitter or hurt or traumatized by Black men, by their Black family. You just can't use that excuse for those women. These women have been through legitimate experiences that have caused them to make the choices that they want to make. And when I log on to YouTube and see Black women criticizing this movement, trying to make it seem like the divestors are angry, bitter, and they make no sense, is crazy to me. Usually these Black women have found successful relationships with a Black man or are successful in the Black community, but what they tend to lack is understanding that the majority of Black women aren't going to have those same experiences. How do I know this? Because it's in the numbers. Majority of Black women are currently not having those experiences right now. And that is why movements like the divestment movement or interracial dating for Black women and corrective promotion is such a big deal right now, because us as Black women, from the data, not from my opinion, from the data, it doesn't seem that we are winning within our community. Everyone wants to say that Black women are unmarried because they're the least desirable, when really they're unmarried because they're race loyal to a group of men that have a lot of options for other women everywhere, right? But they're still the least married group of men. So that's the main problem I have with all of these critiques on Black women when it comes to relationships and marriage. They're coming from a group of men that have never been married, that have never witnessed a marriage, that have never been a friend. Some of them haven't even been to a wedding as adult males. So it's just interesting to me how they now have so much to say on marriage and Black women, when the men who do the asking aren't asking not only Black women, but they're not asking anybody, any woman of any color. So ladies, when you come across these videos, press the block, press the ignore. I do see some ladies commenting and really putting out this truth, which is good. Because one thing that we should always do is have the time to educate and inform other people who just have it wrong and have their own misperceptions. Everyone thinks divesting is about just hating on Black men, but it's honestly not. It's just about going to what's better for you and leaving what's not. That's literally what it is. It can be a Black relationship. It can be your Black family. It can be your job full of non-Black people. Whatever it is, your bad neighborhood into a better neighborhood. It's whatever you really make it. So it's just funny how these female content creators want to get on here and criticize the divestment movement for no real reason other than it's not promoting, I guess, Black families and Black men. To be honest, Black men don't need promotion. They need to act. They need to just be better, and they just need to do better. They don't need promotion. Since Black men are so high on the sexual marketplace value, yes, for sex, but for marriage, for resources, for reliability on if they can build things in society, are Black men high on that? If not, they don't need promotion. They need correction. They need strategy. They need education. They need healing, because a lot of Black men have a lot of unresolved trauma, which is the real reason I believe they get on the internet to criticize and really online bully Black women. And like I've said before in other videos, ladies, please don't believe the myth that Black women aren't desirable by other people. That's nowhere near the truth. I am an unambiguous Black woman, and every time I sign up for a dating app, majority of the men that swipe on me are not Black. And guess what? They're educated. They're successful. They want to be traditional. As a Black woman, listen to this. There's a lot of men. This is not so much on divesting, but more so interracial dating, what I'm speaking on now. There's a lot of men that aren't Black that would love to have a wife who's Black. That they wouldn't mind it. They don't care. They don't care what color their wife is. They care about the love that she'll bring to their household and the legacy that she'll bring. And a lot of men that aren't Black wouldn't mind having a mixed race family. I mean, it's 2021. Majority of people in the next few decades are probably going to be biracial. There's going to be a big chunk of biracial people in the next few decades that are half Black. Maybe they're half Asian. Maybe they're half Hispanic and white. Like, there's going to be a lot of biracial people in the next few decades. So I'm just going to need Black men and other Black women that affiliate with the Manosphere in particular to stop gatekeeping Black women's relationship choices. It's not for you to gatekeep. There are thousands of Black women who have had not so good dating experiences in the Black community. There's probably even more non-Black women that have had not so good dating experiences with Black men. And I mean, look at Jennifer Lopez, for instance, right? Like, she was dating Diddy and she dated Black men in her day back in those times. But after Diddy and the whole situation she had with him, I don't want to say the situation because I don't know the specifics, but I know it was an incident where he ended up in jail, or she did, I think, something involving the law with Diddy. And since then, she hasn't really dated Black men like that. Like, was in love with Ben Affleck. There's a movie of her coming out and her love interest is a white man. Like, it's things like that. Like, there's a lot of women who haven't had good dating experiences with Black men and purposely choose to not associate themselves with them as a collective because it can be dangerous. Like, Black men are the top abusers of Black women, and they're the most harmful to themselves. So, and it's just funny how they also want to bring up Becky and Myling and other races of women, where I had a Black man actually tell me yesterday that these other races of women tend to stick to their own when it comes to marriage, but they will date and have fun with other types of men. But at the end of the day, if they come from a stable family, they would feel most comfortable bringing home a man that looks like them. And it happens all the time. It's not every single non-Black woman, but it's a good chunk of them. So I think with the Manosphere and Black women that associate with the Manosphere need to understand about Black women who want to divest is that you cannot gatekeep us. You cannot excuse our desire to have a better quality of life on the fact that we've been hurt and traumatized. What you need to do is accept that this is what we're doing. You need to accept that things do need to be better. And you actually should join in with us, because if everyone was able to get it together and individually seek better for themselves, the community can then come together flawlessly and be a better community. But that's going to take time, and it's going to have to take a lot of humbling and correction on both ends for that to happen. But as far as I'm concerned, Black women are willing to correct themselves, and they're doing this by separation. And that is a very healthy form of correction, to separate yourself from what's not working in your favor. So I don't know why there is a growing number of Black women who want to critique divestors and heavily affiliate themselves with the Manosphere. I really don't understand. The funny thing is all of these women are married, though, or have a relationship, which is great. They're a part of the 25% of Black women who was able to marry, but they need to wake up and understand that the other, I'm not good at math, so what is that, 80-something% of us, or 70-something% of us, don't have that reality. And we have to come up with other options, because we're asking a group of men who are the least married to anybody to make a way for the community, and that's just not realistic. So this is why the divestors community is on the rise. Why Black women wanting to date out finally is on the rise, because a growing number of Black women are actually wanting to be traditional and wanting a family and wanting to settle down, but a growing number of Black men are becoming red pill, listening to the Manosphere, the MGTOW, men going their own way, and they're not wanting marriage. And if they do, they want you to work for it. They want you to prove yourself to them as to why they should marry you. They want you to earn their last name, which is completely crazy. Because like I've said before in another video, there was a time where giving a woman your last name was actually a privilege, because not every man was worthy of having his legacy passed down. And it really is like that today. There's going to be a lot of men who aren't going to be worthy enough of having their legacy passed down because they don't have resources, or they're simply unpleasant. And this is one thing the feminist movement did do for women in general. It made women only seek marriage with a man who's actually likable. Because before the feminist movement, women needed to have a husband because women couldn't buy their own property. They couldn't even open their own bank account unless there was a man there to open it on their name or something. Like, you needed a husband to legitly survive in society. But since none of that stuff is the case after the feminist movement, now if men want to be married, or if really, and women too, you actually have to be a likable human being enough so that someone wants to commit their life to you. Because now men don't have this conditioning from society to save a woman, to give her a life. They don't have that anymore because women can give themselves a life. Women can have their own bank accounts, can buy their own properties. Women can be CEOs now and start their own businesses. We don't need men as in the form of a romantic partner to do those things. But we still need men to have a family, a traditional family especially. So that's one thing that the feminist movement did do, and that's something that men don't like. They think that marriage should be about honor and duty and roles, and it should, but today it's changed. You actually have to be a man who likes who you're about to marry. You can't just be a man taking on a woman because it's for the betterment of society. It's not like that anymore, because marriages that start off of that tend to become abusive because the man doesn't really like his wife. He just liked her because she was convenient and because he just had to take on a wife. So this should be in man's favor too. Men should want to have wives that they like. So I don't know why they're trying to promote this 1950s ideology on marriage when it was also probably bad for the men too, because a lot of men were taking on wives that they didn't even like, and wives didn't like them back, which caused tension in the home. But today, you can be with someone you actually love to have a beautiful home and be traditional. Matter of fact, being traditional will be much easier because you guys actually love each other. So this is what I'm going to need the Black female YouTubers to understand that affiliate with the Manosphere, is that divestment is a solution. It is a strategy. It is not an attack. So that's all I wanted to say on this video. I ran a little long on this video, but I had quite a bit to say. I'm going to be going live soon, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Share this video with a friend. And until next time, ladies, bye.